Hi, I have in front of me a satellite dish wall mounting bracket that's available with low cost shipping directly from freetv.ie. So it comes in two component parts with two bolts with it. This is the outer pack that comes in here, and so it's a nice neat little kit. So this actually is a particularly lovely flexible TV bracket or satellite dish mounting bracket here. Now you could use this actually for mounting not just satellite dishes, but also we'll say for instance TV aerials, things like that as well, but primarily for satellite dishes. Now anybody who would know anything about the satellite industry would know that the design of this actually is very similar to what was used on the traditional 60 centimeter Sky dishes. So generally what we're saying to people is this is suitable for a 60 centimeter dish, maybe a little bit larger, but once you get up to 80 centimeter and things like that, I would generally say to people possibly come along and get a more heavy duty one. But for anything smaller than that, absolutely perfect. So it's extremely strong, it's extremely flexible, and you can sort of adapt it to the situation as you need it, okay? So this bracket here is mounted directly onto the wall. So normally what you'd have is 4 plugs, 4 bolts. They're available directly with this product. And you just mount it directly onto the wall. So now you have a bracket mounted on the wall through the 4 holes here at the corners. You could use 6 mounts, but that's just not necessary. Okay, so you have that part of it there. And when you go to mount the satellite dish bracket, there's a range of ways you can mount it, okay? This is the standard way it'll normally be mounted, where you just come along here and you're getting gravity to help you pushing it down. You can mount it upright like this, but the problem is that gravity sort of working against you there. So directly down is the best way to go, I would say, in the general design. Now, if you're mounting this on a wall that's directly south facing, for instance, you might say to yourself, look, I want to do a really neat job. I want to keep the dish as close to the house as possible. And I know we'll say, because the satellite dish generally are always in the south, we're in fact always in the generally sort of direction, because all satellites are over the equator. And the second thing there is it's normally southeast, we'll say, is the main satellite one here, so at about 145 degrees. It's where the reading on is going from north to south, okay? So you can mount it this way, or you can actually mount it this way. So if you know, we'll say you don't need the big advantage we'll say here is if you mount it this way and you have your satellite dish coming out off the wall, you have effectively with a 60 centimeter dish, you have a full 180 degrees rotation on it. So you can rotate it aiming this way or swing right around away from the camera and facing directly towards my head. We'll say would be the other way of doing it. Now how do we actually lock it into position? Well, we see the 2 bolts that are here. You take the nuts directly off and you slot this through. So there's little grips internally here, and we push the bar through this. I'll just try to demonstrate it without making it too complicated. And you just use a 10mm spanner or socket. You just pull it tighter, and it gets locked in here again. And with the next one, what you're doing is you take the screws off, you slot it through directly from here. It comes out the far side, and it'll pull this whole bracket over onto it. Now the key thing here is don't over tighten it. There's a certain amount of elasticity in the bracket itself, okay? The actual strength of this is quite good. It's painted rather than galvanized, but my experience will say in the first 10 years or so, this is just not going to rot off thing. And the actual gauge of this in terms of the overall weight, that the Lab Gear version of this, it's actually heavier in my experience than most of the ones that are being manufactured directly for a Sky Zone 2 installation. So I don't want to go any further details on it, other than say this is a good bracket. We sell lots and lots of them. Price point on it's attractive and just a clever design.